We are learning new details about what the president might say tonight, including new information about his stance on immigration. Earlier today, the president met with a group of network anchors where he made some of his intentions known, saying, quote, "The time is right for an immigration bill as long as there is compromise on both sides." CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Scott Pelley was in that meeting and joins us now from Washington. So, Scott, did the president explain what that compromise might be?
Well, Elaine, there's not a great deal that we can say about what the president said to us because only that part, only that quote was on the record. But we did talk to senior administration officials today who gave us a better read on what the president meant exactly. And part of this is a major departure from what President Trump said he would do during the campaign. If you'll recall, during the campaign, sometimes he spoke of rounding up 11 million illegal immigrants in this country and sending them back to Mexico. But today, he was saying that compromise was absolutely essential, compromise on both sides. And the senior administration official said that the president would consider whether there could be a path to legal status, not citizenship, but a legal status for illegal immigrants who are already in the country, immigrants who have clean criminal records and pay their federal and state taxes, but a path to their staying in the country and being able to hold a job legally. But this would be all part of a comprehensive immigration bill. And getting a comprehensive immigration bill through that building behind me, as you know, Elaine, has been very difficult over these years. And so the president's ideas would just be the start of that process.
Yeah, fascinating to hear about that. I'm sure a lot of people on the right particularly will be watching closely to see what the details of those ideas the president has are. What about, Scott, the effort to repeal and replace the Affordable Health Care Act? What can you tell us about at least just sort of the status from the White House's perspective on that?
Well, you know, Elaine, we've been talking to a lot of people today at the White House, in the U.S. House of Representatives, and in the Senate. And one of the things we learned today is that the House and the Senate and the White House are all working on essentially the same document at the same time. It's not that there are competing health care bills coming at us from various places. They're all working on the same document at the same time, ironing out their disagreements. This is, of course, among the Republican leadership. And they expect to have a replacement for the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, as early as the end of March, maybe the beginning of April. They have given up on the idea of a symbolic repeal of Obamacare to be followed at a later time by the replacement. They're going to do everything at once in one bill, repeal Obamacare and replace it. Now, Democrats have a different idea. They are steadfast against any repeal of Obamacare. All of the Democratic senators have said that they will not stand for a repeal of Obamacare. They want to work within the Obamacare framework. They're willing to talk about changing the law but not getting rid of it. So even though Republicans claim that they're on the same page here, that doesn't mean it's going to be smooth sailing either.
Well, Scott, you also sat down with Senator Bernie Sanders. What did he say about working with the president?
Well, Bernie Sanders said they hope he could work with the president, that Democrats in general could work with the president. There's one area of common ground here, and that is the president wants to dramatically increase spending on infrastructure, airports, roads, bridges, water systems, all that kind of thing. That's something Democrats have been looking for a very long time. The president's going to talk about that tonight during his address to the joint session of Congress. The question, of course, the devil is always in the details. How are you going to pay for it? And that's where the battleground will be.
Finally, Scott, some Democratic leaders have been asking their members to be, quote, respectful during the president's address. Are there any indications that perhaps that might be an issue tonight?
I don't think so. I spoke to the leader, the Democratic leader in the Senate, Senator Chuck Schumer, and the leader of the Democrats in the House, Nancy Pelosi, today, and they both said that their members will make their own choices, but they believe that everyone would be very respectful of the President of the United States. A large number of Democratic women in the House and Senate are going to be dressed in white tonight. It is a symbolic color of suffragettes and equal rights for women, and so the Democrats are going to try to make at least a statement in terms of color in what they're wearing.
All right, CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Scott Pelley, thanks so much for coming on Red and Blue here on CBSN.
Elaine, great to be with you. Thank you.